Welcome to the Thrifty Stitcher Guide to threading your sewing machine. Nearly all sewing machines are threaded in a very similar way. You start off by putting your reel of thread onto a spool pin. This is a horizontal spool pin. I've used a clamp to stop it sliding off. Then I'm going to take the end of my thread and I'm going to wrap it here just behind my thread guide. Sometimes that's a little loop or a metal wire clip. Then I'm sliding it down here. This little area here contains my tension wheel, which you can't see on this machine, it's quite recessed. And then I'm coming back upwards in a right to left direction. There's a little metal lever here called my take-up lever, and that controls my thread directly back down to my needle. And I'm going to come back down here, right at the top of my needle here. You can't really see that, there's a tiny little hook. Now this hook ensures that my needle, my thread, goes exactly into my needle. A little tip for threading a needle: lower your sewing foot. You can see I've already lowered mine, and if you can't see the eye, pop your finger behind and you can see the eye there. All needles are threaded in a front to back direction, and I'm going to do a close-up on that in a second. The final stage of threading the machine is to get the bobbin thread, which is just at the side here, up through the middle of this sole plate and between the presser foot here and the sole plate. To do that, I'm going to take my top thread, which is coming off of my needle, and lightly hold that with my left hand. Then taking the wheel at the side of the sewing machine and turning it towards myself, I bring that needle in and I keep turning, and I'll start to see my top thread wrapping around the underneath thread and forming a loop. This sort of goes soft when I get to about this point, which is kind of like turning it 24 hours, and then if I just tug on the top thread here, I see a little loop come through, and with a pair of scissors I'm going to pass my scissors through the loop, and now my top thread and my bottom thread are both here. I'm going to pass those through the split in the foot so that they're both sitting between the sole plate and the presser foot. And I'm going to pop my bobbin cover on and I'm good to start sewing.